For next speaker, I'd like to welcome Mr. Christopher Biai, who is now Director of the Crop Industry Development Division of the Department of Agriculture, Malaysia. First of all, well, congratulations, Mr. Christopher, on your recent promotion to this position. Mr. Christopher is an alumnus of North Carolina University, has served the Department of Agriculture for 26 years, since 1996. In his last post as Deputy Director, he headed the fruit section, implementing and monitoring long-term and short-term fruit development programs, including for durian, jackfruit, mango, mangosteen, rambutan, banana, mandarin oranges, papaya, and watermelon. Now, of course, as a director, he will be handling a wider range of crops here. I now would like to invite Mr. Christopher to present a paper on initiatives to develop the jackfruit as a crop for income generation in Malaysia. Kindly proceed, Mr. Christopher.
Thank you, Jacob. And firstly, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon also to all the representative from the member countries that is in this webinar today. So, firstly, I would like to thank the TFNet for inviting us to present the one good topic for jackfruit industry. So my topic today is the initiatives to develop the jackfruit as a crop for income generation in Malaysia. Okay, so the content of my presentation will be divided into three parts, namely the overview of the development of jackfruit industry in Malaysia, the jackfruit market, and the initiative developed or initiative established by the Department of Agriculture in helping the jackfruit growers and also the jackfruit companies in Malaysia. Okay, so the overview development of jackfruit industry in Malaysia. So before I go into the jackfruit industry per se, so I would like to share the planted area of fruits in Malaysia. As we can see, durian contributes to the highest acreage of fruit planted in Malaysia. And if we see, I mean, the total area, total planted area of fruit crops in Malaysia is one.
Sorry, excuse me, Mr. Chris, is the video in the background intended, or is it part of the slide, or is it a different thing?
It's intended.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's intended. Sorry, Jacob. Okay, so back to my presentation. So the total planted area of food crop of fruits crop in Malaysia is about 186,271 hectares. And as we can see from this graph, jackfruit stands at number 10 out of all the big crop that is being planted in Malaysia, and contributes about 2.5%. It's not big, but the fruit is big. Okay. In terms of production, durian is still the highest volume, contributes about almost 400,000 metric ton, and jackfruit stands at number 8 in terms of production, which the production is about 35,624 metric ton. So it is still one of the top 10 fruits most produced in Malaysia. Okay, and in Malaysia we have 16 varieties registered with the Department of Agriculture. And on my slides here is the three most popular varieties that we are developing or we are planting in Malaysia. Most of our entrepreneurs is planting Tekam Yellow, or the code registered name is J33. It is registered in Jerantut, Pahang in 2004. And the second most planted variety is Mantin, J with the code name of J33 32, and it is registered in Negeri Sembilan in 1997. And the third most planted variety is the Mastura, or the J37, which was registered in Pulau Pinang in 2005. And this is the three most popular variety planted by our growers in Malaysia. Okay, in terms of production, as I mentioned earlier, the 35,634 metric ton. Negeri Sembilan contributes the highest volume of production of about 11,111 metric ton, which contributes about 31% of the national production, followed by Pahang of 8,399 metric ton, which is about 24% of the total national production, and followed by Johor State of about 4,572 metric ton, which contributes about 13% of the national production. So these are the three main major jackfruit growing states in Malaysia. Okay, in terms of self-sufficiency ratio, as we can see on the slide, for the past 5 years, it doesn't fluctuate much. In 2016, we are having about 108.8%, meaning to say we are having about almost 10% of surplus in our jackfruit production for the country. And this shows that we have surplus for our export market. Okay. And in terms of per capita consumption for the past 3 years, it doesn't show any so much of increment or decrement. So it stays at about 1.5 to 1.6 kilogram per year. Okay, and then I would like to share a bit on the jackfruit market. In terms of the local price, we have a record from this farm price, wholesale price, and the retail price. For the past 5 years, in terms of the farm price, it doesn't show any big increment from the year 2017 and 2022. Just about almost 1 ringgit 50 cent of increment. But surprisingly, the wholesale price remained at 3 ringgit and 35 cent for the past 5 years. It was surprised to see the price remain at that price. And the retail price has increased about almost 50%. So this is good for the retailers. Okay. And as I mentioned, out of the 4,674 planted areas, we have about almost 75% areas are harvested areas, with the production of about 35,624 metric ton, which contributes to the value of about 67 million ringgit. And out of this production, 60% are for export market, which is valued at almost 15 million ringgit, and the rest is for the local market of about 84%, which is about 30,000 metric ton, which contributes to about almost a bit more than 52 million ringgit. So this is the scenario for the export and the local market for jackfruit in 2020. And this is, just want to share a bit on this export market that we export our jackfruit to other countries. And as you can see, Singapore is the main export market for our jackfruit, which is about 86% out of the total volume that we export is to Singapore, which is valued at about a bit more than 9 million ringgit. And this export market is in terms of fresh jackfruit, frozen, pulp, and also the frozen whole fruit. So the export market, the total export market, as I mentioned previously, is about 5,650 metric ton, and contributes to about almost a bit more than 15 million ringgit. Meanwhile, other than Singapore, we have Hong Kong also about 7.7% that we are exporting. The Czech Republic is about 1.2%, and to the United Kingdom and Netherlands is less than 1%. Okay. Having more than our self-sufficiency level, we also import some of the jackfruit from our neighboring countries, especially from Thailand. We are importing about 212 metric tons, which contributes to about almost 300,000 ringgit, and also from Indonesia, about 14 metric tons. This was the import value or import volume for the year 2020. Okay, and our top exporter companies, we have 17 top exporter companies of jackfruit that export this jackfruit either to Singapore, Hong Kong, the United Kingdom, Netherlands, and the Czech Republic. These are the 17 exporters of jackfruit from Malaysia. Okay, and these are some of the examples of the downstream product that we have domestically. Okay, we have the jackfruit juice, the jackfruit ice cream, and the jackfruit chips, and also, as mentioned by our Excellency Dr. Aslina just now, most in Malaysia we use the immature jackfruit as vegetable, which we cook with coconut milk, and it's a special delicacy in Malaysia. So it's one of the special vegetables that we cook in Malaysia. Okay, and I'll go through the initiative that has been developed by the Department of Agriculture. We have jackfruit as one of our crops that we develop in our agriculture development projects. And next. Okay, so in the 12th Malaysia plan, we have the development project from the Department of Agriculture. So we previously, it is named Permanent Food Production Park, but we have done did a rebranding to our development projects, and we rebrand it as Agro Food Park. So this park or this projects is aimed to create a national food production zone that helps to increase sustainable and quality national food production, increase the involvement of entrepreneurs in the field of commercial food crop production, as well as encourages and increase private sector involvement in food crop production. So in this development project in the 12th Malaysia plan, we do involve those private sectors to be involved in our projects to boost export market. So in this agro food park, it involves fruits and also vegetables. Okay, so jackfruit planting in TKPM, as I mentioned just now, is the in Bahasa Malaysia is Taman Kekal Pengeluaran Makanan, but if it is in English, it is Permanent Food Production Park, which we have rebranded into the Agro Food Park. So in these states, we have 19 TKPM or the AFP that is involved in the jackfruit production, which in the total area for this 19 TKPM is about almost 2,000 hectares, which contribute to about almost 50% or 42% of the total area planted with jackfruit in Malaysia. And out from these 19 TKPMs or the agro food park, we have about 215 participants that is involved in these projects. And in 2021, from what we have registered or we have captured from all the growers, about 42% of the growers has the income of more than 3,000 ringgit per month, and even they can reach up to about 20,000 ringgit per month. And meanwhile, some of the newcomers or the new growers, they are having income of less than 3,000 ringgit per month, which contribute to about almost 60% or 50%. So we are introducing the initiative to increase those incomes to at least more than 3,000 ringgit per month. Okay, so these are some of our entrepreneurs, or we call it as anchor company in each of these TKPM or the AFP. So we have 10 anchor companies in the 19 TKPM that is helping the small growers or the individual growers to market their produce either domestically or internationally or for export market. So these are those companies that help the small growers. So we have 2 in Johor State, 1 in Negeri Sembilan State, and 7 in Pahang State. Okay, so as I've mentioned, the Tour Malaysia Plan Development Project, Mr. Yaakob was also mentioning that we have our long-term crop development project and short-term crop development project. And jackfruit is considered as a long-term crop, so it is under the long-term crop development project, which the department has set an objective to increase the production for export and reduce import dependence. So out of the 5 crops that we mentioned on the left side, durian, jackfruit, mango, mangosteen, starfruit, these are the main fruit crop that we grow. Mangoes, we are still importing. So we are producing mangoes to reduce our import dependence, because we import quite a volume of mangoes from our neighboring countries. And with I've said with the objective being said, we will involve about 3,000 new participants, with about each of the participants will have about an hectare of area, which will cover about 3,000 hectares of new area, and we will establish some 600 post-harvest facilities in this for these 300 participants, and these 3,000 participants, and these 3,000 participants will be receiving a transfer of technology from the Department of Agriculture. Okay, so the Department of Agriculture is giving our advisory services to all the entrepreneurs in the jackfruit industries. And here are some of the headlines of newspaper clipping. As you can see, we are helping those entrepreneurs or growers or companies involved in jackfruit industry to boost or to establish the export market. As you can see, Nangka Temulawak terbang ke London, meaning this is in Bahasa Malaysia, so meaning to say the jackfruit from the district of Temulawak is flying to London, so meaning it has been exported or been sent to London as one of the fruits from Malaysia. Okay, so and beside that also, currently we are having this technology of individual quick freeze. This is, we consider it as the future of the tropical fruit crops, by which we can extend the shelf life of the jackfruit to about almost 6 months to 1 year, since if we keep it fresh outside, it wouldn't last that long. So this is one of the technology that has been used by our local companies to prolong the shelf life of our jackfruit. Okay, and these are some of the jackfruit based product that we produce in Malaysia. We have this the IQF honey jackfruit. We have the Turon jackfruit, and we also have patties that we produce. This is the recently innovative product that we produce in Malaysia. And also we have the jackfruit plant-based nugget, and also we have the rendang, that is one of the famous delicacies that we have in Malaysia, and also barbecue pulled meat. These are all the vegetarian meat produced from jackfruit. These also are some of the new innovative product from jackfruit. On the top left is the luncheon meat produced from jackfruit based product. Turon, savory meatball, murtabak, rendang, fresh jackfruit salad, super burger, smoked meat, meatball spaghetti, and so on. So this is the new innovation or new added value product based from jackfruit. Okay, so by the way, we also have initiative to expand our market to these countries, especially to Canada, USA, Europe, Middle East, Australia, New Zealand, and also Japan. Okay, so for market access, we have a few categories that we have put up for export. Namely, number one, the chill pulp, we have access to Indonesia, Vietnam, and Taiwan. Meanwhile, for freeze-dried category, we have the access to export to China. For fresh market, we only right now we only have the Canadian market. Meanwhile, for China, Japan, and New Zealand, China, Japan, New Zealand, and USA is still under negotiation. But very soon we'll be having this access to export fresh to these 4 countries. And also frozen, we have access to export to Japan. Meanwhile, for minimally processed product, we only have the access to export to Australia. Meanwhile, for the other 4 countries, namely China, Japan, New Zealand, and USA, is still under negotiation. Okay, so these are some of the, this is the summary of the market access for fruits. So meaning to say all type of fruits, we have the access to export to Singapore, Hong Kong, Middle East country, European Union countries, and also the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, for Australia, we are not being able to export banana except for, and all frozen, all form is accepted in Australia. Okay, and by the way, we also have done, or we have did our promotion to promote our jackfruit in Dubai. This is our Director General's when we were promoting our jackfruit in the Dubai Expo from the 20th to the 26th of February in 2002. Whereas you can see on the right side, it has been marketed in the Lulu hypermarket in Riyadh. So this is one of the links that we have in exporting or in distributing our jackfruit from Malaysia. And finally, I just want to share a video. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, participants, so that is all that I'm sharing with you today. So thank you, and back to you, Cik Yaakob.